Yo, guys, welcome back to the Touchliner, and well done, Arsenal.
Hold on. Should we?
Well done on being the first Premier League winner to not have a red card, not concede a penalty, and to have, is it 10 1-0 wins?
Something like that.
Excitement! Excitement! Yeah?
It's 10 1-0 wins, but somehow they still are second top goal scorer in the league.
Yeah, it's almost like it's, indicative of how shit the league has been, or something like that, something like
Hmm.
that. I'm not going to
Possibly.
speculate. I'm not going to speculate. At the end of the day, Arsenal fans are not going to give a shit. It's their first league title in 22 years. Arteta's first league title. He has proved the haters wrong. He's finally delivered a big title, and he's got a Champions League final in a week and a half's time.
Wow.
Um, it's insane. I mean, what do you think about this title win? Sum it up.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Like you said, Arsenal fans, they're not going to care, and they
No,
shouldn't care
no, they shouldn't.
at all. They shouldn't give
No.
a shit. They've won the league in a pretty crazy way, to be honest. With the last two games that they've had, the decision at West Ham, then the decision for the red card, there should
Yeah,
have been red card
yeah.
against Kai Havertz. It just all adds up, man. It all makes sense, Like, I'm not saying there is an agenda, but listen, Italian football has been corrupt for years. Spanish football has been corrupt for years. If you think there's not a single ounce of corruption in the Premier League, you're a little bit deluded. A little bit deluded. Because there's corruption everywhere. In every walk of life, there is corruption. I just want that to be known. I think that overall, you have to say fair play. Fair play to Arsenal. Fair play to Arteta and the board. They stuck with Arteta even when he bottled the league 3 years in a row. Not bottled specifically 3 years, but two of those 3 years were big bottles, I
Yep.
think.
Yep.
And this year we said they would do it again, and they didn't. And you know what? I have to say fair play. But
But
a, a clock is right at least twice a day, right? And I think the more they have thrown, the shit at the wall, something is going to stick.
this is
I
true.
think this year, in a really terrible quality year for the Premier League, I think for teams like City, Chelsea, Liverpool, who all really haven't been performing at the level in which they have in the past. Yeah, I mean, fair play. They got it done this year, and yeah, I think that, like I said, eventually it was going to happen. I
Yeah,
think we all understood that. Eventually they were going to win a trophy.
it was
This
gonna
year it's been the
happen.
Prem.
I mean, it's taken him 7 years. He spent over £1 billion.
Yeah, it's
Players have
true.
come and gone, and now he has finally lived up
Yeah.
to Arne Slot's legacy. So we have to applaud this achievement, because Arne Slot, a legend of the game, a student of the game, should we say,
Mm.
and Arteta growing trees, playing TikTok AI videos. It's all come around, you know. Yeah,
Is
you've
is
heard.
this a
You've heard.
is this a repeatable process though?
This is my take on this. I don't think that this is the start of a dynasty because a lot of fans, and a lot of Arsenal fans in particular, will think that this is it. Here we go. Let's go back to back next year.
Yeah, Pep leaving as well.
Pep leaving. It's the perfect opportunity. I mean, we will talk about that, but I just don't think that this style of football can be replicated. If you're telling me Arteta's going to roll the clock back 3 years and start playing creative, free-flowing football and do a complete 180 from what he's been doing this year and win the league, I think you are deluded, stupid idiot. That's what I think.
Mm.
Because I don't think it's that simple. It took Arteta a few years to transition to this style. His set-piece coach coming in and actually implementing this rugby-style corners. Whether the Premier League allows it next year is another question. Because if you take that away and you crack down on that, that is genuinely a third, okay, maybe a bit less,
Yeah.
but around a big chunk of Arsenal's goals gone.
They've said they're
So
going to be cracking down on it in summer. They're going to figure out a new set of laws for the corner. I think it's needed. I mean, I saw somebody say that they were not allowed to be in the 6 yard box. Would be an interesting idea. So nobody in the 6 yard box from a corner. What do you think about that?
I saw that, and I think that it would probably be the best way to stop that kind of rug. That it's almost like a scrum in the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
It might be the only solution, but at the same time, that's a bit dead. Like, it means that if a corner's a bit overhit, the keeper's kind of got that safe space where he can catch the ball.
Yeah.
But
That's not to say maybe they can't like stand in the 6-yard box, but they could jump into the 6-yard box, for example.
maybe, but then again, is Rice not just going? I mean, Rice held João Pedro outside the 6-yard
Around
box.
the neck.
Yeah, earlier this season. I mean, it's just the first example. It just so happens to be Arsenal, but it does happen. So I think holding, the VAR might need to get involved on holding. Not that VAR is like the be all and end all and the answer, and they're always right, but it will help to crack down on this at least. If you can identify this number 6 is holding on number 2, whatever, little things like this will help the game because. I mean, I don't know if you saw this stat. Every professional league winner in England was a team that scored the most set-piece goals. That's not something to be proud of. That's the direction that English football was going in 4 or 5 years ago, as much as this pains me to say, when City were at the top and Pep was leading this style of football, is different to how it is now. I mean, we were calling it boring back then, but at least teams were trying to play football. Now, it's almost like we've digressed to the 80s. I'm not a fan of it.
The skill has, not skill necessarily, but the sort of tactical element and the dynamism of some players has sort of been taken out of the game for these long throws instead of just taking quick free kicks or, long throw. Like it all sort of adds up to this new sort of very physical, very aerial dominated side of the Premier League. Which is no wonder why Eddie Howe also likes big players. It's like the league is going in that direction anyways, So I think that, people now are looking for those unicorn players that are big, and especially strikers, big, tall, but also quick. And these are the more now important things, like the physical aspects of the game, rather than players like Ryan Cherky, who is not necessarily the biggest or the quickest or the strongest, but technically he's amazing. But you just don't see many players like that in the league. And I hope that we start to see a resurgence of players like Krupi Jr., players like Ryan, players like Cherky. And these are the type of players we want in the Premier League, really.
Yeah.
But Arsenal aren't going to give a shit. Like, they have an ugly title win. And
whatever. I would take it.
I don't think it's happening again, to be completely honest.
That is the consensus here. We do not think it's going to happen again. Again, we were wrong this year, so maybe we'll be wrong next year.
We were wrong, yeah.
I don't know, unless he starts some kind of, crazy change of, approach. But speaking of a change, a big change, Pep is leaving Man City. The news was leaked earlier this week, and even last week, I think. He's not happy about it. I don't think it was planned that it was going to happen this way. But after 10 years, 20 trophies, he's gone. It's the end of the Man City era, really. And they are appointing Enzo Maresca. Now, I think Pep Guardiola, one of the greats when it comes to English football, he will forever be up there. He did 3 in a row. He did 4 in a row. He won the treble, the first manager to do it after Ferguson. He won the domestic treble as well. Granted, 115 charges, 115
little
plus,
asterisks there.
Little asterisks, and all this money. I've never seen a manager have so much financial freedom, but we have also seen managers spend and not succeed. So I applaud the career. I applaud the success. I can respect that he's a student of the game and he's like a football nerd. He's really into football. He goes and watches Stockport play. I respect that. I wish he came to United still, but fair play, man. That it opens the league up. And what do you think about your favorite Enzo Maresca being touted as a replacement?
Yeah, I'm not on the Maresca hype train. I think that he's been obviously put in place to replace Pep, which is interesting because while I think Pep has changed his style of play now away from sort of heavy possession football. They looked a little bit more frail at the back, and I'm just wondering how Maresca is going to come in and close up those frailties, I suppose, because this season especially, City have always looked vulnerable on the break this year, being caught out behind. Like, yeah, they've got Kusanov, but like I can think of 2 penalties that we should have been given on Kusanov, or 2 fouls or red cards where he's ran back, smashed somebody over,
Yeah.
and I'm interested to see. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he won the Club World Cup with Chelsea with, let's be honest, like that Chelsea team now, you look at it and you think shell of itself after
Yeah.
Maresca's left. So
Yeah.
maybe he was the glue holding everything together there. And going into City now, I mean, City haven't had a change of manager in fucking ages. So this could completely derail everything, or it could just be like, Pep 2.0, I personally think there's going to be a year or two where they go from fourth to sort of fourth, third, second. I don't see him winning the league straight away next year,
Yeah.
unless he, signs up some ballers, which, City will probably do. They will probably sign.
They'll try. They'll try.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't see them winning next year. I just don't think Maresca is that guy to win a league, to be honest.
It doesn't seem that way. I mean, looking at the team and looking at the performance, seeing how they did in the run-in compared to City teams of years past, where they would just win. They dropped points against Everton. They ultimately drew with Bournemouth in a very important game. Earlier in the season, they dropped points to Chelsea. They dropped points to Spurs twice.
Mm-hmm.
Did
we beat them this year? We beat them this year.
Yeah. I mean, we did too. Everyone did. Everyone did, but City couldn't. So it's one of those where you can see the team were crying out for quality. They signed Guehi and Semenyo in January. Could not get them over the line. I thought to myself, when I thought Pep was going to stay, that it's going to be a very long transitional process. And by that, I mean a season or maybe 2 to kind of get a new squad together, get rid of some of the deadwood, and get these young guys on board that maybe haven't won all the trophies before. So now it's Maresca's job to do that. It's his job to get his guys in. It's his job to get players like Kusanov, O'Reilly, all these younger kind of players coming through. Even like Doku, who's finally maturing. Semenyo, who's just needs to learn to win.
Cook, bro.
Yeah, bro, like he's coming at the same time. But to have these players on your team is not negative. I think he will be top 4, top 5 next year. Will he win the league? I don't know. But on paper, that is the most talented squad in the league, I think, still. By far. The
fact they can just sign Guehi and Semenyo in January, like, the league is not safe at any point with this state-funded club, bro. Like,
for sure. But like that's the other thing as well. Is City gonna have the same pull if they don't have Pep? Because I think I would say a good chunk of players will go, I want to play for Pep. I do not think there are that many players that go, oh, Man City. Yeah, nah. You want to play for Pep Guardiola, as successful as City have been. I think now...
So what's their identity going to be now?
Yeah, literally, what are they going to do? I mean, they had some success before Pep. They had Mancini, Pellegrini, but none of these were long-term. There wasn't a clear style of football. I think this leaves... It doesn't just open the league up, it opens the market up. Because now I'm feeling that we could maybe have a better chance to get Anderson, for example. I think we can give a decent argument. I still think City are ahead, but it's one of those where they aren't as big of a threat, in my opinion, as they were under Pep. So I'm very interested for the summer. I mean, we do have a whole fucking World Cup to watch and to cover. But yeah, man. We will be there. I mean, that's at the top half. Do you think Tottenham will get relegated on the final day? They play Everton.
Chelsea. Oh, no, they already played Chelsea.
Yeah, they play Everton, and West Ham play Leeds at home. So West Ham at home, Tottenham at home. Basically,
Leeds are safe, right?
Yeah, Leeds have nothing to play for, but they've been winning games. There are 9 possible outcomes, and only one of them means Tottenham gets relegated, and that's if Tottenham lose and West Ham win. What do we think?
I think West Ham go down, which is still crazy to say, bro. The fact that West Ham are going down, but listen, the London clubs are not safe this year. One of them are going down, and if I'm going to choose one, like the problem is with West Ham, right, is that they have been directionless for so long.
Yeah.
And they signed some good players, and then they signed them away. And they pushed for a European trophy, and then they're 17th. It's just like, there's no consistency there. They're not being, like, managed for consistency.
Yeah.
And I just think that if I'm going to send one away, like, maybe West Ham, it would be better for West Ham to go down. I think if Spurs go down, it's a collapse. Like,
Yeah.
everything at the club will collapse. Like,
Yeah.
half the funds are just cut straight. So, like, I do think that West Ham will go. I think De Zerbi will just about do enough to keep them in the league. That's my
Yeah.
touchliner prediction.
I mean, he might not even have to. He might still lose, and then West Ham lose, and they're safe.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
It could be anticlimactic. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting at that end. And then on the European end, we've got, well, Bournemouth drew, so they're pretty much out of the Champions League race. But it's whether Chelsea or someone else gets the Conference League spot, which no one wants. Nobody wants to play in the fucking Conference League.
Nah.
So, I know I said Newcastle were there, but they now need Chelsea to lose 7-0 on the final day. And to win like 1 or 2-0. Yeah, I mean, weirder things have happened. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on. Pep leaving also, I forgot to say, he did say in the past that he would leave if he found out the club lied to him about the club's financial standing. Bit of a conspiracy there, with the charges. Apparently, they're being drawn up, the charges. We don't know. Again, we've been waiting for this outcome since
forever.
2024. Yeah. So time will tell. That might also be a factor. And with the league about to change how they charge teams with financial breaches,
which is fucking stupid, by the way.
It is
where they
crazy.
Can just come to like a negotiation.
It is crazy. In the middle, like they haven't even announced the city charges. At least do the city charges, and then if you want to do it,
then do it.
Yeah, don't do it mid-investigation.
Just hide it a bit more that you're trying to get them out. Like,
yeah, how can you change the law mid-investigation? Imagine if like the government did that. Yeah, just it's insane. But again, we will cover it if it happens. City look like they're a falling giant. Arsenal rising to the pinnacle of English football. What happens next? Find out on the touchliner. Yeah? Everyone like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And we'll see you after the final day for our reactions in a bit.